Hello. So, so I would like to know if there are few people with me on this channel this evening. On this channel this evening. On this. Okay, so now let's wait about 2 minutes for others to join us. So, as I said, majorly, what we'll be doing this evening is to be testing our streaming platform. Yeah, so if you know your life with me, kindly drop like a thumbs up. Okay, so there is no so much time, so I would like to just, from what I could see, I think our streaming platform is working fine. So let's dive deep into the conversations we'll be having this evening. So, but kindly confirm. I want someone to give me like a thumbs up or something to so I will know that you're live here with me. Awesome. Okay, great. So, this majorly, as I've said earlier, is important as you grow. You begin to understand the power of preparation. You begin to understand how important it is to prepare for anything you're doing whatsoever, no matter how small that thing you intend to do, no matter how small it is important that you prepare because people are going to be sacrificing their time come and listen to you, so you don't just want to waste their time, and that is why preparation is important. So really talk about, I'll start with learning, okay, or learning. Yeah, so in the current age we are, there is so much information. Information keeps flying every day. Information flies every minute, every second, every split second. So if you think what you knew will be sufficient enough to take you through the next few years, you're gonna be making a serious mistake because there is a lot happening, and uh, the next set of millionaires will be those who are consistent in learning, who are always on their toes trying to get new information, trying to understand what is happening and why things are happening. There is a lot happening. Even we don't even have to say that is the olden days. Even currently, you understand that the 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 fact that you have so many academic degrees does not automatically makes you rich, because certificate degrees does not, it can expose you to learning, but your dedication is what makes you learn better. Okay, so you may get a PhD and still not be able to do so much. So it is your passion in learning must not rely on academic degrees. Okay, so if you are intentional about a life that is big out there, then you need to take learning serious. I mean, every day of your life you must get something new. You must learn something new. And internet has made it so easy, because right now you you have access to almost every information you need on YouTube. Okay, and so many other platforms are out there. So please take, I mean, I don't want any member of my tribe to take learnings with levity. I need every one of us to take learning very seriously, because that is that is what is going to take you through the next phase. So, the next one I'll be talking about this evening is self awareness. Self awareness. The reality is that every one of us must come to that point where we understand where we are. Okay, so we all need to sit down, analyze the position we are right now, think about what it could contacts you've you gathered over the years. It could be in form of the location you currently are. Some of these things put limitations on our journeys, and there is a need to analyze all these things. Sit down and think about it. Maybe the next step you need to take would be to relocate. It could be relocating out of your country, it could be relocating out of the town you are. You could even remain in the town, but there's a need to be self aware. You might need to sit down and understand that okay, you are not really an excellent student, you are actually an average learner. So it will help you to put more dedication into learning than someone who find it always easy to learn. So self-awareness is a very powerful tool to actually get the best out of life. The reality is that a lot of people just live in this facade of things are just going to work without coming to that point where they sit down and realize, okay, I don't have this and I want this. How can I go from where it's easy, it's sweet for us to just sit down. Thank you, Mrs. Taiwo Opola. I really appreciate the comments. So, as I was saying, it's easy for every one of us to just sit down and think about it that, okay, this is how big I want to become tomorrow. And just keep wishing, admiring good life, aspiring to be big without really understanding, okay, this is where I am, this is my journey, and if I don't try and change the way things are, I might not be able to go as big as I really want to. So there is a need to analyze ourselves, be self-aware. That's the message. Be self-aware. And this takes me to the next point, which is self-investment. Now, I posted a content few days ago where I said nobody loves you like you. The biggest investment you can make in your life is the investment in yourself, investment in your physique, in the things you like, in your desires, because if you don't motivate yourself, you're not going to get bigger than you are right now. There's a need to compensate yourself at every level. Okay, so, and by this compensation, because a lot of people actually suffer themselves in trying to get bigger in life, and they want things to just get better, but find it difficult to compensate themselves, to invest in themselves, invest in the things you really want, in the kind of environment that you would like to be. Because the position you want to get to, there are there are limitations, there are things that are boundaries that have been set. Okay, and there are perceptions. That's the language. There are perceptions. There is a way they want you to look like. Okay, so for the next level you intend to get to, there are already boundaries put in place, and those boundaries relate to how you are perceived. So where do you stay? What are the things you do consistently? How big do people perceive you to be? And these things, you can't achieve them if you don't engage in self investment. Now, most people make money, and the next thing is they want to, I mean, someone probably just make the first 2 million naira, um and is probably living in one suburb, finding it even difficult to really get by in life, and that's like the first biggest break he's making in his life. And the next thing they're thinking about, I mean, I've been in this phase before, so I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just trying to change the perception right now. So the next thing is they're thinking about, oh, someone told me about a land, so they want to just go ahead and buy a land and take the entire 2 million naira, pour into a property they might not even build in the next 3 4 years, when you could actually invest that same money into the same thing that generated that income for you. Number one, yourself. Number two, that source. Okay, advance that knowledge. What did you do that got you that 2 million naira? Why don't you invest in making that thing bigger? Okay, take for example, I'm doing this right now. You could see that the quality of the video is not that outstanding like I would want it to be, but I will not allow that to actually limit me from starting. But if what we're having right now have the potential or could generate something for me, it would be stupid of me to now take out that money and say the next thing is I want to buy a land, or I want to buy a house or something, when I could actually invest into, okay, getting a podcast camera, get, I mean, equip this studio setup, and just make the outputs better than it was. And that is how you can engage in self-investment. I mean, I can't overflog this. There is nothing you will do to help yourself to grow faster than self-investment, because you need to you need your mental health to even be intact for you to get the best out of what you're doing. So I would strongly recommend that you engage seriously in self-investment. Now, please, if you are within this live video and you would like to jump on this call, you would like me to bring you in, you can drop a message, and I will take note of it and probably even invite you in. I hope I'm able to get that though. So, um, next thing I want to say is access to mentorship. Now, this is very important. Now, before this serious internet age, it's a very difficult thing to have access to the kind of mentors you desire. Um, but with the introduction of internet has made it easier for us to have access to the biggest mentors you can ever think of. But a lot of people make mistakes. Okay, so I mean, sometimes it may not even necessarily be a mentor, it could even be a friend. Now, please, if you are listening to this, I need you to take note of this very importantly. If you want to have communication with anybody, I mean, this even extends to how to have proper communication on the internet. If you want to ask someone message, or you want to pass a message across, or you want to even have access to a mentor or a friend who seems to be busy doing something, please don't enter people's DM and just go and say, ah, good afternoon sir, or good morning bro, or good afternoon bro. I mean, those things are highly frustrating. You can't do that at this age, at your level. You can't just be posting random greetings to people online. Okay, people are busy, people have a lot of things to do. So you could just pass your message across when the person gets, because most times you will not get response from those kind of messages. Okay, if you just get into people's DM and all you just say is, oh, good afternoon sir, and you're expecting the person to reply before you drop the next message, you can have that with your everyday friends, but not people who are so busy with their life trying to get things done. Okay, so what should you do? You should get into people's DM, and the next thing, immediately after your greeting, I mean, just put yourself together before you even enter their DM. Put yourself together, get your message drafted, then send them the message. If what you want to say is very important, or you're requesting for help, or you need advice on something, just drop it. Go ahead and drop it. If you're going to get a response, then you will get a response. And if the person is too busy, you are not entitled to their time. Okay, they own their time as you own yours. So if they respond to your greeting, please, the moment the person say good afternoon, immediately, for those who have probably made a mistake before, just go ahead and drop your message. Stop trying to exchange pleasantries with people who don't even know you, who are too busy with their lives, and the next thing you're just saying is good afternoon and expecting response. No, you're not going to get. And it's disappointing when you don't get a response, and it probably makes you feel like they are not caring, but that's not true. People, you never can tell what they are even going through. So it will be better for you when you're communicating with anyone at all, especially in this digital age, in this social media age. Go into their DM if your message is very important, and drop what you intend to say. Stop exchanging pleasantries with people who don't even really know you. And please, get away with entitlement mentality. Okay, get away with entitlement mentality. If there is anything you want them to, I mean, if they fail to respond to you, they are not in any way bound to respond to you. They are not. Nobody owes you anything. So don't get mad because someone did not respond. Rather, it should even be your fueling passion. Okay, it should be your motivation to get so big in such a way that your name commands attention, right? And stop waiting for people's confirmation to get what you want to started. No matter how little you think you are, you can start wherever you are. No matter what you intend to do, and no matter how little, stop with those excuses of trying to wait for people's responses before you move on with what you intend to do with your life. So, I think I'm okay with that. Then let's talk about preparedness, right? The truth is, you need to be prepared for what you intend to do, for what you're about to do. I believe, I mean, you won't be on this, you won't be listening to this if you do not intend to, if you don't have vision, right? If you don't have vision, if you don't have something big you intend to achieve tomorrow, you won't probably be listening to this. So, that thing you intend to do, the time you have now is the time you ought to be putting everything you need to put together to achieve that vision. Now, most vision will not just come and happen, right? It will require your effort, it will require your input. So, what are you putting down? What are the things you're drafting? You need to keep notes. I've always said it, the faintest pen, as they always say, is sharper than the sharpest brain. So, put your ideas down, come up, and luckily we have enough resources to help us get that out of the way. You have access to ChatGPT, you have access to AI that can even help you plan. Okay, so prepare for everything. Like, take for example, I could just say, oh, we're having this webinar tomorrow by 12 noon, and by 11:30 I tried trying to understand, okay, how does Facebook and how will I be able to stream on Facebook and YouTube by 11:30 tomorrow, and 30 minutes into the, and I mean, something just happened and it can't work out. So, but you see, I've started preparing for the streaming and how to achieve it like since yesterday. And even though I get all the things I needed to put together in place, I've tested it, I still needed to test it regardless of whether anybody jumped to the live stream or not. But at least I'm able to perfect that this actually works, so that I will not have to wait till tomorrow to start saying, oh, how do we achieve this. No, so whatever you intend to achieve in life, you need to prepare ahead. This is something I mean, I get to know so late. If I had been working on this earlier than now, probably longer before now, I would be bigger and better than I am right now. And lastly, you need to keep your health. I mean, you need to be so attentive to your health. Okay, health is so important right now, and that still takes me to the self investment. Okay, you need to exercise, because the your investment in exercise, in an exercise routine, any investment you put into exercise routine is going to benefit you in the long run. So you can't just afford to be doing all this work and your body is degenerating. Please and please, at least 2 or 3 times a week, try and engage in exercise routine. The first thing I had to do when I got a bigger apartment was to get a gym equipment in the house, so that I will not continue to give myself excuse that, oh, I couldn't go to gym today, I'll go tomorrow, then I have to keep postponing it. At least I have it right in the house, and it doesn't cost so much. So you need to give attention to your health, because the body you will use to get the results you desire is the same body you're probably taking advantage of. You know, walk when you need to walk. A lot of us drive these days, so but keep your exercise routine in check is so important. So important. So, um I don't know if some of us may have questions think okay. If some of us we have questions, if you have, you can quickly drop it in the comment section, and if there is no question, then I think we've we are well prepared enough. We could go ahead and have our sessions tomorrow. Now, let me talk about what will be happening tomorrow. You see, that my guest that will be coming tomorrow is someone I respect so much. He's full of wisdom. I mean, he came from a long way, transitioning. Some of you guys listening to me, you are probably in a field that you don't even like, and you see opportunities in other fields, and you're not taking advantage of it. Now, this is someone who transitioned. Like, when this guy writes, sometimes you think he's someone that studied literature. Sometimes you get confused to think he studied English. Sometimes you feel probably he studied law, because of how he has been able to develop himself. And now, in development sector, he's doing so well. So I would like you guys to try as much as possible. You never can tell what you will get out of this conversation tomorrow. It's going to be 12 noon tomorrow. I would like you to come out, be there, because I strongly believe that there is something great you're going to learn from him tomorrow, even if you're not looking to transition into any other field. But believe me when I tell you that there's something you're surely going to get from the conversation we'll be having tomorrow. So please invite your friends. If you love them, invite them to the session tomorrow by 12 noon. I've already prepared my questions, series of questions, and in case if you have any question you would like me to ask the guest tomorrow, send it to my DM, forward it to me, and I will join it to the list of questions that I'll be asking him tomorrow. So, thank you so much for joining me on this. We're going to be having this, repeatedly. So, it's going to be an interesting ride, and we all together